the morning buzz on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Today on October 25th, 2021, we've got a whole lot to talk about. It's going to be a great show today. Today we're going to be covering weather hazards across the U.S., finding which New Jersey county has one of the lowest COVID transmission rates in the country, and interviewing the captain of the dominant, dare I say, MSU men's soccer team. But before we get into all that and more, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Mike Foley. I almost forgot your name. I see you pretty much every day.
Really?
Yeah, it was
really?
bad.
Kenny!
Listen.
Kenneth Horn, how dare you?
Listen.
Slept for it's not a hard name to forget. There's a studio not even 20 feet away who has the last name. Introduce the newscaster. I'm too mad at you right now.
And Madi Zuniga. She's spooky.
Very
Spooky Madi.
Spooky season is around the corner, baby.
That's right. It's her
Spooky
favorite
season.
season.
Is all year.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but please give your newscast so I can be silently angry at you about that hot take.
In local news, a flash flood has been issued for north and central New Jersey starting Monday night. Moderate to heavy rain are predicted to hit parts of the state. National weather forecast says it can cause thunderstorms and an isolated tornado or two. According to Dean Lovino, a National Weather Service meteorologist at Mount Holly, Philadelphia, right now it looks like we're having a pretty good chance of moderate to heavy rain on Monday night into Tuesday night. That could result in flooding, which is why a flash flood watch is in effect. In state news, on Sunday reported another 870 cases and confirmed deaths due to COVID. This is the lowest number reported of new cases in nearly 2 weeks. New Jersey numbers are improving through officials are warning that the weather is getting colder and the holiday season is approaching, which means more people gathering indoors and could cause another bump in positive cases and tests. In national news, a crew member says that she raised concerns about the safety of the prop gun that killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Maggie Gold, who is a prop maker, says in a statement that she filed a complaint over concerns about director Dave Hall's behavior on the set. He disregarded safety protocol for weapons on set and often lost consciousness while supervising on set. International news. Colombia's most wanted drug lord was captured by authorities, which is considered the biggest blow to the country's narcotics traffickers in decades. Colombia's President Ivan Duque Marquez confirmed the drug lord's capture in a televised national address on Sunday. He is also known as Otonio and is the leader of the Clan de Golfo. This capture is compared to the fall of Pablo Escobar, says the president. The State Department offered $5 million for his capture, and Colombia offered a reward up to 3 million Colombian pesos for his capture. Today's weather is partly cloudy with a high of 74 and a low of 55. The wind is 3 miles per hour with a humidity level of 66%. The air quality is excellent with the AQI level of 14.
Thank you, Marty. 14. That is very good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I never understood AQI.
It's the air quality index. That's what it stands for. So it is the, what's the right
Kenny,
word?
I don't mean to cut you off.
Yes, please.
But the last time I was taught AQI, I fell asleep in class. And I'm sure you don't want me falling asleep with the buzz today.
No, that'd be very difficult. I'll just scream again.
Okay!
It's funny because I can see on the levels it just hits 0.
Oh. Sorry, Annabella.
Yes, please. Please say that. Our first story today,
Sorry,
our
FCC.
top story. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin appears to be on board with White House proposals for new taxes on billionaires and certain corporations to help pay for President Biden's scaled-back social services and climate change package. Biden huddled with Manchin and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer at the president's Delaware home Sunday to resolve the disputes between centrists and progressives that have stalled the Democrats' wide-ranging bill. What had been a sweeping $3.5 trillion plan is now being seen at half that as a $1.75 trillion package. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that even at half the original $3.5 trillion proposed, Biden's signature domestic initiative would be larger than any other legislative package, with big investments in healthcare, childcare, and strategies to tackle climate change. She said, quote, "It is less than what was projected to begin with, but it's still bigger than anything we have ever done in terms of addressing the needs of America's working families."
That it?
That's it.
Oh. Cool.
Okay.
I like money.
Money. Well,
I don't have a lot of it.
Money's very good.
But I
Well,
like it.
this is important because we've seen one of the multiple topics that is covered in this is climate change, and we've seen it pretty much every single day, every single week, some kind of drastic effect of climate change. If it's not here domestically in our area, it's somewhere in our country. There's seemingly big wildfires in California all the time.
That is true.
Yeah. And other kinds of weather problems are happening. But beyond that, healthcare, healthcare.
I would like healthcare.
I would also like healthcare.
Marty wants healthcare too. We all want healthcare.
I don't understand.
I don't want to lose a hand and then have to pay $2 million to get a new hand.
Yeah, but that's the point. While you said that jokingly,
is that I get $2 million and I'm in debt for $2 million and I get a new hand?
Well, you say that jokingly, except there's truth to many jokes, and there's truth to that, and that it shouldn't cost so much money to
get your appendix out.
Yeah, you just
ride in an ambulance. Have you seen what the cost of an ambulance is?
I don't know, but I know it's ridiculous.
And isn't it like $1,000?
Just about. I think it's like $1,000 a mile or something.
Wow.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
It's crazy to have to pay to get required medical treatment, or else you die. In some cases, not all, obviously.
I don't know why, but that really just made me think of the Scrubs episode where a woman she has something wrong with her kidney and she can easily have it fixed, but she chooses not to because she's in her.
That was one of the first episodes.
70s,
and she'd done pretty much everything in the world.
Yeah, she'd done everything she wanted, so she just wanted to spend time with her family and then go peacefully, and she did. And I'm like, that was nice. That was like a bittersweet ending. And then I'm like, oh wow, she was right the whole time.
Yeah, and on top of healthcare, there's also childcare, which Vice President Kamala Harris was here talking about just about 2 weeks ago.
That is true.
Yes. And I don't remember what the estimated price was. It was
a lot.
$2,000-$3,000 a month for childcare for the average parent. That's insane.
Wow.
It's okay. Like I said, I like money. I don't like spending it, but I have very.
Well, that's money that's being spent.
Oh yeah, that is.
Exactly.
That's why I'm fine being alone.
Which is why that this money being spent needs to be helped by this package. 3.5 trillion, 1.75 trillion, whatever. Any kind of step in the right direction will be huge for acknowledging our faults and hopefully alleviating them.
Mm-hmm.
Marty, what are you thinking?
Money is important.
See?
Yeah.
Money is good.
Money is good. But yeah, like things like you said about health insurance, it's like, most people should have it. Because like, for example, me, I haven't had insurance since 2018. I miss, going to doctor's appointments and stuff. Those are like, better times.
But your example's a great case in that we shouldn't have to ignore our health for the sake of our wallets.
Yeah.
Right? What if something serious happened to you? I hope to God that doesn't happen. But if that did happen, then what?
It's weird because I'm actually extra careful with things like that. Like, I will try to avoid certain things that will involve me tripping because I have a habit of accidentally tripping over everything that I happen to walk by.
As long as you don't ride a skateboard outside of the cells building, you'll be fine.
I don't ride skateboards because I know I'm going to hurt myself.
You're looking at me like you don't understand the joke I just made.
No, I didn't.
Leslie broke her wrist riding a penny board.
Oh, see, I didn't know what the cells building was.
Cells building is the science.
That's what my problem was.
It's the building right next to us, Kenny.
I don't know buildings on campus.
You should read the signs.
Just
why would I read the signs
right outside?
The only place I know how to get to is California Tortilla.
Well, that is true.
It's not that great.
You take that back. I am turning your
Kenny,
mic off.
Kenny,
Her mic is off.
Kenny,
Yes, Mike.
don't do something that will make the FCC mad.
Listen, you heathen.
He loves California tortilla, folks.
Yes, I
It's
do.
the thing he eats 5 out of the 7 days of the week. I don't know if he even eats it on the weekends. He probably does. He probably lives inside a California tortilla. But that's just Kenny's personal opinion.
I have decreased my amount of California tortilla.
He has.
But it's still.
However, we're getting
a lot.
off topic.
Yes, we are. Thank you, because I was trying to think of a way to bring
We
that
can
back.
go on the California tortilla tirade at a later time.
Speaking of California, we have a bunch of weather hazards that are happening across the country. We mentioned before, California has been the victim of a lot of climate change. Well, here's another thing that's happening. It's time to be aware of the weather as multiple environmental threats unfold across the United States this week. From bomb cyclones to severe weather and nor'easters, this week has it all, sadly. As a bomb cyclone ramps up a firehouse of heavy rain across the West, new evacuation orders have been issued for vulnerable locations near recent burn scars. Evacuation orders mean that it is unlawful to remain in place with an immediate threat to life and property. The same energy associated with the severe weather outbreak will translate to a powerful low pressure system known as a nor'easter along the east coast of the U.S. by Tuesday and Wednesday. Conditions are looking favorable for strong northeasterly winds to develop. Coastal flooding and heavy rain are also possible across southern New England.
Wow.
The environment hates us for good reason.
Well, to be fair,
For good reason.
Yeah, good reason.
We've done this to ourselves.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you said it.
What,
is
that we've done
fair.
this to ourselves?
Yeah, I didn't know how to formulate it properly.
It's true.
Yeah,
We've dug our own grave, and now
I'm not saying it's a bad spot where we like the grave seems kind of nice. Not gonna lie, like I don't know what joke I was trying to make there.
That just sounded super depressing. Okay.
It's early in the Kenny. It's 7:14 in the morning. Everyone should wake up. It's the morning buzz on 90.3 WMSC, baby. Woo!
Yeah, it's the morning buzz, not sad boy hours.
Exactly. Sad boy hours were only a few hours ago. But that's not the point. Marty, what do you think?
Well, honestly, it sucks about this kind of weather, but I am a sucker for severe weather. I don't know why. I love severe
Marty,
weather.
I don't care what your opinion is, but nor'easters are not good.
They are not. I've studied them.
I had flooding damage to my car.
If you've studied them, do you want to talk about what you know about them?
Well, I know they're pretty dangerous. It could either be either severe rain or severe snow. And well, I just know it's like pretty bad because well, in high school I used to study weather because I was a weather nerd. I want to be a meteorologist. But I just know like weather like this is pretty bad, but I just like to see how it unfolds. You know, like I said, I'm a sucker for severe weather.
Yeah, and this is something that's going to unfold inevitably.
Suckers for severe weather.
I used to want to be a storm chaser. I wanted to chase tornadoes for a living.
I cut Kenny off, so let's see what he has to say.
This is something that's going to inevitably unfold into more lives lost, more people's homes destroyed, and everything. All because of us ignoring what is needing to be repaired and flying off into space and abandoning our own planet.
Yeah. So what we're not going to do is I forget the point I was trying to make because this happens a lot. But yeah, I don't have any other points to follow up on that. Climate change is something I know is happening. So, you know, I could talk about that, but there's no thoughts coming to mind right now.
Yeah, we could just all take our part to do better.
There you go. No, wait, no. If you want to. You don't have to.
Oh yeah, if you want to.
No, I'm saying that no, we do have to do our part to do better. I don't think that's breaking FCC rules, and if it is, I think we're fine.
Okay, Annabella, no, Kenny said he was going to take the hit for this one. So
yep, I will take the hit. Except I think that it's different because this is social action, and we're not advertising a product. And
it's
even
also
then,
a call to action.
Yes, it is, in that it's justifiable. In that,
but Kenny,
our planet hates us. What?
Yes, people know that. People know the planet hates us. People know that we're killing the planet. I don't want to pay $4,000. Do you? Because see, I like money.
It's different.
I
A
don't have a
call
lot
to
of it.
action is about advertising a certain product because we're a non-commercial station. A call to action about doing something is completely different because we're not advertising a certain product.
That should be a question on the ADJ test.
It should be.
Ben,
Let's talk to Ben.
if you're listening, there you go. Boom. Trick
Anyway,
question.
with all this weather, one thing I'm hoping for is just having a sunny afternoon. Here's the Kinks' sunny afternoon. Welcome back to the Morning Buzz here at WMSC 90.3 FM. Our next story, Mike, please bring it to us.
You got it. Yeah, this NJ County has had one of the lowest COVID transmission rates in the U.S. According to the CDC, Union County's 556,000 residents have achieved one of the lowest COVID-19 community transmission rates in the nation. Union County was among just 52 counties in the U.S. with low category and is the only county in the state to achieve lowest tier for community transmission. Not only that, but is also the only one in the Northeast to achieve the lowest transmission designation. Over 72% of the country's eligible population has been vaccinated, and roughly 80% of county employees have been immunized. Union 7-day positivity rate through Monday was 2.4%. The level of COVID-19 community transmission is a critical measurement. It helps the CDC understand the amount of spread in the country and likelihood exposure in that county. My mistake earlier with that. The CDC calculates community transmission by looking a total of new cases for every 100,000 residents over the past 7 days and the percentage of positive tests over the past 7 days.
What's Union County doing right? I want to know.
I don't know. Wearing masks, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the simple stuff.
It says here that like 80% have been immunized, and
I mean, this is proof.
That's 80%. No, yeah, 30% of the county employees have been immunized.
And 72 total. This is proof of what we need to do. There's so many people who are against the science of public health and what has been being preached by the top scientists and doctors in the country. And this is 100% proof, I guess technically 72% proof of something that we need to do.
Yep.
It's just baffling to me.
So again, you're going to take the heat if the FCC doesn't like this, right? Just clarifying. You said you would earlier. I just want you to say it out loud in wording.
You got it, Mike.
For Madi, our friend here, and myself.
You got it, Mike. Madi, what are your thoughts?
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Well, it's important that our numbers are going down. So I know in my area where I live, it's not everybody's against it, but there's a few people who are against it. And I like that when I came up here, when I dorm here at Montclair, a good amount of people want to stay safe and keep the mask on, get vaccinated. But I still meet a few people who are just like, I don't believe in it. It's not real, or things like that, which is not true.
Yeah, it's something that has become very politicized, and it's shocking how something that is a public health thing can be such a problem for politics and spreading agendas like that. But speaking of politics, we're going to move on to our next story. This week, our Spot News segment on the Morning Buzz, our reporter Giovanna Boggins will be informing us on the early voting in New Jersey's Essex County.
Yeah.
The general election is just around the corner, and there are a few different ways you can vote. At your polling place on Election Day, in-person early voting, or vote by mail ballot. On Election Day, Tuesday, November 2nd, polls are open 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Polling locations for Montclair residents can be found at montclairnewjerseyusa.org. The early voting option is open October 23rd through Sunday, October 31st. Monday through Saturday, they are open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. No appointments are necessary. There are no locations in Montclair, but residents can vote at any of the Essex County locations. If voting by mail, you must request a vote by mail ballot by Tuesday, October 26th to get it by mail. The forms are available at x6boardofelections.com and other resources such as where to find a secure ballot drop box location and the location to drop off your ballot to your county's Board of Elections. If you do not request a ballot by Tuesday, October 26th, you must get your vote by mail ballot from your county clerk in person by November 1st at 3 p.m. Mail ballots must be postmarked on or before 8 p.m. on November 2nd and must be received by the Essex County Board of Elections on or before November 8th for your vote to count.
Thank you, Giovanna, for that spot news. She never fails to impress me with her reporting. Giovanna is actually, for the Focus Project, she was the senior producer in charge of Focus last semester.
Really?
Yeah, she
Cool.
knows her stuff. I'm happy that we have her
Wow.
on the team.
Hype her up some more, Kenny. Why don't you?
That's right. I don't know anything else about her.
Oh, she did a good job. Just say that.
I did say that.
Did you say it again?
She did a good job.
Say it one more time.
It one more time.
You know what?
Nice.
You're 2 feet away from me, Kenny. You're testing my patience. You're this close. You're running out of patience, son.
Anyway, this is a big election. This is an election that we haven't had a Democratic governor win re-election in decades, and Murphy is currently leading in polls.
Who is it? It's Murphy and
Chitterelli, yes.
Jack Chitterelli.
Jack Chitterelli, the guy in
and
the YouTube
Phil
ads.
Murphy.
And I personally think that Murphy has done excellent in leading us through 2 disasters among Hurricane Ida and the obvious coronavirus. And his leadership has proven to me the kind of leader that he can be in taking us to the next level as a state.
Well, I have a few critiques on him, but I do agree.
There are definite critiques,
Yeah.
100%, such as if you don't like high taxes, New Jersey isn't the place for you.
Yeah, that's not a good comment. I was talking more how he treats teachers, even though he wanted the teacher vote. And a few other things that we don't need to get into right now.
No, Mike, that's what this is for.
See, here's the thing. We're gonna go to Maudie, see what she says.
I noticed one thing that people who support Murphy and people who support Chitterelli, it depends on location and what part of New Jersey. Because when I'm at
That's
home,
true.
I get ads for Murphy saying vote for Governor Murphy. But when I'm up here, I actually get a lot of YouTube ads for Chitterelli. And I'm just like, it's you could tell, which parts are like going more blue and going more red. But honestly, I do support Murphy mainly because, like Kenny said, he did a lot when it came to COVID and all the storms. A lot of people give him hate for it, but I think he did a pretty good job in keeping us safe for both.
Yeah, I mean, we started out as the second worst compared to New York, which was the worst in coronavirus, and he brought us down significantly, especially in a state that's so densely populated. He has done phenomenal, I think.
Yep.
Mike, you feel free to say your criticisms. That's what this is for.
I should expect this from politicians in the sense of he was mandated. This is not my opinions of the matter of the 2 topics that involved in this critique of mine. I think it's just a little bit of a clear sense of hypocrisy when it comes to Murphy. But then again, all politicians are pretty hypocritical.
That's something I completely agree with.
Yes. During the marches and protests following the death of George Floyd back in June 2020, Murphy was also mandating at the time that there were no indoor eating, any of that, which, that's smart. Fine. That's really smart. It's for me, it was him walking shoulder to shoulder in the front of the protest. Now, granted, obviously you can't do it any other way, but a man who is so strictly on COVID, then going around and doing that soured my opinion on him a little bit. Granted, both are good causes, and in the sense of, keeping everyone safe with COVID and Black Lives Matter movement. I'm not saying that they aren't. I'm just saying that is a little like just that sort of like, you need to stay inside, you can't do this, this, and this, and then going around and doing that kind of can sour people's tastes on him.
That's true. I personally think it's different if it's outside, but even then there is shoulder to shoulder, like you said, where it is still possible. I completely agree with your point. We are jump to a quick break before we come back to an interview with the captain of one of the best sports teams on campus currently.
Woo!
More than 5 million Americans live with Alzheimer's, but less than half are ever diagnosed. Close family members who know their loved ones best are typically the first to notice memory issues or cognitive problems, but they are often hesitant to say something, even when they know something is wrong. While acknowledging why your loved one may be acting differently is hard, it can be critical, as early detection of Alzheimer's can make a difference in managing the disease. Most people are unaware of the substantial benefits of early diagnosis and avoid taking the first step to getting help, having the tough conversation with their loved one when they notice changes in their attitude or behavior. To learn more, visit alz.org/ourstories. This ad is brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
Welcome back to the Morning Buzz at WMSC. Right now, we are going to go to our interview for the day. For this Monday's Red Hawk highlight on the Morning Buzz, we are covering MSU's dominant men's soccer team. At 15-1-1, MSU's men's soccer just beat out Rowan to clinch the top spot in the New Jersey Athletic Conference. Today, we're joined by the player who, in his sophomore year, became captain of the team. Now, in his junior year, he has been leading the team to these achievements. Welcome to the show, Justin Goldberg.
Woo!
Good morning, guys.
It is, in fact, the morning.
Good observation. So, to start, what did your journey in soccer look like? How did you start and how'd you get here?
Yeah, so I started when I was 2. My dad used to.
Two?
Yeah,
2.
young. My
Very
sister used to always play, so she's 4 years older than me. And so me and her always used to play in the backyard and stuff. She would always beat me quite well.
Well,
in
you
the
mean you
f-
were 2?
Yeah, well, she's only.
You can easily
5,
push
6.
over a 2-year-old, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't doing any Maradonas or anything at the time, but
You were putting in the work.
yeah,
At
no,
2,
I was
you're probably
grinding.
putting in the work,
I
man.
was grinding when I was younger, not gonna lie. No, but so my dad was my coach when I was younger, and then it kind of just moved up through like my Manalapan. I'm from Manalapan, so just from the town and stuff, I kind of stayed pretty local. And then my junior year of high school, I moved to this academy team called Matchfit. And then from there, I got recruited. I met our assistant coach, Max Worsberger, through Matchfit, and he's the assistant coach here as well. So he kind of brought me in for a recruiting visit, and I kind of just fell in love with the campus, fell in love with the team and all that stuff. And obviously winning always feels good. So we've had quite success since I've been here.
Well, that is true. You have had great success. And as a captain, what does your role entail? Like what do you contribute to the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think leadership, obviously overall would be the biggest trait that you would need to pursue for a captain. I think that gaining respect from your teammates is huge, and the ability to do that certainly makes or breaks, I guess, a captain. And their role on the team, I think that the coaches do really well this year with kind of sidelining and helping out um, through like leadership and helping like on the field. I think so. We have our other captain, Anthony Pelez. He wears the armband and stuff on the field. Nice neon pink one, so you can't really miss him. And just distributing messages from coaches to players, distributing messages from like to referees and stuff like that. Off the field, helping out with practices, what we're gonna wear the day, making sure everyone's focused, locked in, and yeah.
What goes into being a good leader? How do you rally a team like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing, good leader always just like go back to is respect. If you don't have the respect for your players, no one's going to listen to you anyway. So I guess that's not a good role for a captain. But I think that to go back to your question would be, just I guess hype man. Unfortunately for me, I'm injured this year. I tore my PCL.
Very sorry.
Yeah,
To hear.
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah. So it happened the first scrimmage. But my role as a captain still never changed. So when we run our UAs and stuff like that as like a pregame hype, I'm in the middle still and stuff like that. So I guess just making sure everyone's ready. When it's game day, it's game time. So everyone's excited to go, and it's kind of up to the captains and some of the older guys on the team as well to get the boys going.
Yeah. Now I'm curious because you mentioned that you're injured this season. Well, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
How does being an injured player, an injured captain, make you have to work differently for the team?
Yeah, it's definitely hard. So I did tear my PCL, which normally is around like an 8-month full recovery. But you can actually play soccer on it as long as it's stable. So I did try to come back a couple times. So I'm still working out with the team. I ended up getting re-injured a couple times with the same knee and things like that. So kind of bounce back and then fall a couple more steps backwards. But yeah, it's definitely where like you would think that your biggest role would be being on the field and helping each other out with stats and morale and stuff like that on the field. You kind of take a little bit of an assistant coaching role almost, where like you're kind of sitting back, making sure guys are good, um, and just like being there for them instead of pushing them like with them, if that kind of makes sense. It's almost um like looking, let's see, I'm trying to think of like Virgil van Dijk. He plays on Liverpool. He's probably one of the best center backs in the world last year. He tore his ACL. I believe it was his ACL. So he was out all year. Liverpool struggled and stuff. But with him and Jordy Henderson, they kind of brought everything back together. And now they're having one of the best seasons they've had in a long time. So I think that like just being a captain overall off injury, I would say is almost just like going back to be assistant coaching.
Well, you are right. The men's soccer team is having a very successful season. You're actually like top of the heap, you could say, right now.
Mhm.
And while that is great, it must be difficult to balance that with your academics. How do you balance the two?
Yeah, I think that's always the challenge when it comes to student athletes. I think D3 does a much better job in terms of understanding that students come first, especially when it's student does come first, and that although athletes don't always like to admit to that. But yeah, this year, luckily, we've only had to miss a couple classes due to games and schedules. Mainly, we leave our Wednesdays open and our other games are on Saturdays. So it's pretty simple like that. But just in work, I think everyone always has their challenges, and everyone's challenges are different. But if you just have like good time management, and understanding what your assignments are and having good communication with your teachers, I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah. What kind of opportunities does having been a student athlete provided you with?
Um, I would say one of the biggest, I don't know if this is necessarily an opportunity, but just coming in with a family, I think is really hard for freshmen. And just like new players and stuff like that. You don't really have to go out and be extremely social because you already have a group of guys that you have to meet and have to love basically. But I think that like other opportunities around campus is simply like interviews like this. There's things like behind the scenes that you don't always see. And this is just like a great way to like kind of get introduced to some new guys, some new like students around school. And definitely I would say like having your own athletic center and stuff like that is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So, well, what do you have to say, Justin, about having a specific hobby that you can fall back on since you are injured
Mhm.
and you have a little bit more free time? I know you say you are a leader, so you obviously spend time, but like, what do you have? Like, do you have a hobby that you can do like with the limited amount of free time that you have?
Yeah, I mean, with the school and stuff, it gets pretty hard. I do also surf. I also fish. I think that like I try to draw. I'm not very good at drawing, but sometimes I'll try to dabble if I have some free time. Um, and yeah, I think that even when you're playing and let's say I'm not injured, being able to separate yourself from school and the game sometimes just to find a little highlight and maybe just find something like a little niche that you guys like, where you can kind of take your mind away from all the pressure, I think is always good to have, especially as an athlete.
Yeah. Speaking of hobbies, how did soccer provide that for you?
So I actually grew up playing soccer, basketball, football, hockey, and baseball. Um, and it wasn't just like a random pick of the hat a little bit, but I think that my sister played soccer, my dad liked coaching soccer. All my friends were well, basically my friends were on every team. We were always the football team, the basketball team, and the soccer team. We just kind of traveled together, I guess. But then we all kind of made a decision going into high school just to stick with soccer. Um, And then, yeah, what was your question again? That kind of answer?
No, of course. How did soccer provide you an outlet?
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think let's say high school days are always the worst for some kids. In my aspect of things, I think high school was pretty hard. And just having a place that you can go and just kind of show who you are and like show your characteristics, but without having to talk and without having to be like completely personal, just doing it with the ball on your feet. And just being able to have like basically no pressure and just performing would be my number one outlet, I would say. Just sometimes talking's hard, but doing stuff like a sport or something is a good way to characterize yourself and show who you are outside of life, kind of, but on the field.
So to circle back what Kenny had just said, what is the importance of a college student having an outlet? Like you have soccer, you
Yeah.
have drawing, all that. So what's the importance of having said outlet for a college student?
Yeah, like I said before, I think that just distracting your mind sometimes from the game is always good. If you're always focusing on the game, obviously that means you're going to be nervous. Like pressure going into it is going to be at an all-time high. And that if you're able just to, whether it's having a girlfriend or boyfriend, having good family talks, just having a hobby, something like that, just to get your mind off things. You shouldn't always be focusing on the result, and just about the journey a little bit, just something to get you to that.
What goes into having that competitive edge? You mentioned that being nervous can be an issue for a lot of people, and I imagine it could be if I was playing
Yeah.
a competitive sport. How do you get around that and excel like you are?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things coaches always tell you is like in big games, if you're nervous, the first ball you get, just kick it as far as you can. Yeah, they're like don't
Why?
because that just kind of gets the nerves going.
Okay.
Yeah, it just gets them going away. I think that like everyone's always first touch, let's say in an NJAC final, might be a little bit off. They're a little more focused on like the amount of people in the stands and stuff like that. So just if you have a ball and you're nervous, just kick it as far as you can. I don't know if that works in every aspect of life, but certainly on the field, it seems to do the trick. I actually find it always interesting that like they say that nerves and excitement signals the same parts of your brain.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're able to understand and embrace the nerves, then you could change that to excitement. So just having that self-awareness and that ability just to breathe sometimes is key.
Yeah, a lot of performance and athletics is mindset. That's
Mhm.
I couldn't speak to this because I'm not an athlete, but I feel like it's to
Yeah,
a certain
Kenny,
degree,
we get
it's
it. You're not an athlete. We get it.
to a certain degree,
Kenny.
it may be more important than the physical.
Yeah.
Because if you're beating yourself up or if you are afraid of whatever it is you have to do, you're not gonna do well. You
Yeah.
have to have that mindset. Looking forward in the schedule and for just the soccer team, what is there? What's
Yeah.
happening?
So right now, obviously the boys are rolling. The boys are doing and have been doing fantastic this season. So after our game today, we have a game on Wednesday against Rutgers Newark. I believe they're second seed in the NJAC. So that's gonna be a fun game. And then after that, we go straight into NJAC conference play or playoffs. And then so we'll have a bye. I believe Newark will have a bye. And then that's our NJAC season after 2 rounds of the playoffs. And then following that's NCAA's. So we have to get our bid, or if you win the NJAC, you get an automatic bid. So
Well, Justin, to wrap up, is there any advice you want to give students out there that may be wanting to get involved with the school and finding something they would enjoy, or such as soccer or anything else? I mean, you clearly did with soccer. I didn't read the entirety of the question. How can other students find something that they like and excel at like you have?
yeah, I think just being uncomfortable or being comfortable in the uncomfortable, like going out and making first impressions and talking to people where you might not be so social. I'm also the vice president of the Finance Society. And freshman year, if I looked at myself, I would never guess that I was in that role or in a club like that. And just the people you meet, if you're not afraid to keep pursuing them and looking at people that you strive to be, and try to follow in their footsteps and looking at things they've done and try to put yourself out there and don't be afraid.
Great. Thank you, Justin, for coming out to the show. We really appreciate it. And good luck in the game today. You may not be playing, but you are definitely a reason for why I believe you're going to win. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Yes, that's right. I mean, you're a great team. So good luck in the rest of the season, and I hope you make it to NCAA. And I'm sure a mantra that you all preach is another one always biting the dust. Here is Queen. Claire, that is the patented Mike Woo. I really like your woos, Mike.
Woo!
It's the perfect response you could have given me right there. We are going to move on to our segment host for the day, Ashley Del Cueto.
Woo!
Ashley, please tell us what's happening in the entertainment.
Hi guys, how's everyone doing?
Good. I'm happy that you're
Spooky.
here to tell us what's going on in
Yeah,
entertainment.
Let's hear what's going on in the entertainment world. Woo!
So,
Yeah, really.
so this weekend, James Michael Tyler, the actor from Friends, passed away from prostate cancer. He was 59. It's really sad. Did you guys watch Friends?
I
mean,
did. I watch a lot of Friends.
Yeah, I think we all have at some point, or at least an episode.
Yeah, it's kind of show that everybody's seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had been suffering from prostate cancer since 2018, and he also was a cancer awareness advocate, and he had a campaigner for people with prostates to get first blood test as early as 40 years old. And he was most known for his performance as Gunther, a worker at the Central Perk Cafe who was like in love with Jennifer Aniston's character Rachel. Yeah, it's pretty funny. And he was considered like the seventh friend, even though he was like a background character. And he also appeared in the Friends reunion in May of this year, although it was like through Zoom. Well, he was through Zoom because he didn't want to like be a downer on the show. Like he felt bad that like he had cancer essentially, which is really sad. But he said that like I didn't want to bring a downer. He said, "quote I didn't want to bring a downer on it. Like I didn't want to be like, oh, by the way, Gunther has cancer." End quote. And I would say Friends is like undoubtedly one of the most popular TV shows of all times, and I'm sure his legacy will live on through the show.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, that's his biggest role easily. And I know a little fun fact. He actually wasn't meant to be a bleached hair, very cut short. He did that the day before his audition, just as a joke with his friend, and it ended up becoming the signature look, which I think is really funny.
Yeah, I mean that is pretty funny that that's the hairstyle he became synonymous with.
Exactly. And he had to keep it because he hated it, but he had to keep it for the show.
I'm not gonna lie, I never even watched Friends, but I do know a lot
Oh.
about it. Like everyone I know watched it.
Well, it's
Oh,
because it's one of the most popular TV shows of all time. You said that
Yeah.
yourself, and you haven't
Oh.
even watched it.
Yeah.
oh,
Gunther was my second favorite character.
Who's your favorite?
Chandler Bing. He's like the biggest mood because he's always this nervous guy who tries to make his way through life, but he fails. But he tries to pick himself up, but he still fails most of the time.
yeah.
I believe in
Mm.
Chandler.
We love Chandler.
Chandler's a good character. Besides Marty, who are all your favorite friends? I guess also besides Ashley. Unless you
Uh,
actually do have an answer.
wait, what?
She's talking to
Mike, what's your favorite Friends character?
my
That's my
favorite
question.
friend.
Yes, your favorite friend.
That's a good question. I'm gonna say Chandler because I relate to him the most.
Really? Joey. Joey, easily. Joey's
Joey?
the funniest.
Joey is the funniest.
I love his
because
appetite. It's
Joey
always so
doesn't
funny.
share food.
Joey doesn't share food.
That's a big thing. But for me, it's always gonna be Chandler.
My least favorite is Ross. He's very uptight.
I don't like Phoebe all that much.
I like Phoebe because she's.
I mean, she's
oh,
good.
That's another one of my favorite ones. I like Phoebe because she's different.
Ironically, I don't like Monica.
Oh, Monica. Yeah. Okay.
It's ironic because they had my favorite character and my least favorite character get together in the end.
I didn't
it's
even
just
think
like-
about that. Opposites attract, Mike.
Do they though? Do they really?
Supposedly. Right?
No,
No?
no.
But it does in fictional TV.
Yeah, because that's drama writing. It's like, oh, can they get along? It's the Sam and Diane, except I hate Sam and Diane.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
Yes. So did any of you watch the Friends reunion? I don't even know what
No.
they did for
I
it.
have.
What did they? Okay, Marty, enlighten us.
So basically, it was it's like almost 2 hours. They basically brought their original cast over to relive what it was like to be in the studio, and they brought in fans around the world. One of the biggest fans that they brought in was actually BTS because the lead member, he learned English through watching Friends, RM. And basically, they just brought in stars who guest starred, famous people. I think Lady Gaga was there to do a musical performance at some point. She performed Smelly Cat.
Oh, the
Yeah.
iconic.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty dumb.
What?
I liked
I
it.
expected the Friends reunion to be an actual Friends episode or movie or something.
They did reenact some of their favorite famous episodes.
I expect to be something completely original. I mean, I was never the biggest fan of Friends, but it seems like it could have been something more to me.
Reality is often disappointing.
That was a Chandler comment.
That was not a
Thanos.
Chandler
That was
comment. That
Thanos.
was Thanos.
Well, Kenny wouldn't know. He
Oh,
doesn't
is
watch
that
Marvel.
is that an
You don't
actual?
watch Marvel?
I was
You
just
make fun of me for having a critique on the Marvel movies, and you haven't even watched Marvel.
I didn't know
we're
that
gonna
was
get into
a.
this later.
I didn't know that was a Marvel reference.
Yeah, you know what?
I was just like
You know
that sounded
Okay,
like something
Kenny.
Chandler would say.
Okay, Kenny. Kenny, okay.
Marty, you mentioned BTS. I know you're a big BTS fan. Maybe
Um,
not big, but I know you do like BTS.
I'm no major army, but I am the basic level of army.
What?
The
Have you-
army is the
major
fan base
army?
of BTS.
Seriously?
Have you eaten the BTS meal?
There's a
I
BTS
have.
meal.
There used to be.
And at McDonald's,
Where?
basically,
Of
what's different
course.
about it is that there's different flavored sauces.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just literally
Different
get an
flavored
ace piece,
sauces?
ace piece chicken nugget and fries and like a medium Sprite, and you have the BTS meal.
It was worth it just
What?
to have the different sauces, because those sauces are mainly available in South Korea, just not in the United States. Well, now it is.
Was it
Okay.
this show last week? No, it was the Friday show 2 weeks ago, where
No, I'm pretty sure we talked about this too.
I pulled up a list of the international McDonald's menus.
I was gonna say we talked about celebrity endorsement
You-
deals with
You did.
on it.
Yeah, that
the
was
Travis Scott burger,
Mixed spaghetti
bacon
in Philippines.
cheeseburger
I
with
never had it.
pickles.
I never had any of those celebrity meals. The one that made me the most angry was the Charlie at Dunkin'. Was it Dunkin'?
The Charlie
or
D'Amelio, yeah, it
Starbucks?
was the Charlie.
It was Dunkin'.
because she loves Dunkin'.
That's actually how I found out who that was, because I saw it on the menu and I'm like, what's Charlie? First I did say, what's Charlie D'Amelio? Then I'm like, oh wait, no, who is that? And I had to actually research who that is.
It's the story behind how I found out it was Charlie D'Amelio.
I'm
First-
still unclear who she is.
Was there used to be alongside it a chocolate stout cold foam coffee that I would get. And that was the only cold coffee I would ever get. But I took my sister one day. I'm like, let's go get Dunkin'. She got super excited because she loves Dunkin' Donuts. So I grab her. We go to the Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm ordering my coffee. And she goes, "Did you just get the Charlie?" And I'm like, "The what?" "The Charlie." Apparently, Charlie D'Amelio's is almost exactly the same order with one slight difference. And then she proceeded to make fun of me the whole time. I'm like, "Who's even Charlie?" And she goes, "Charlie D'Amelio." And I'm like, "Who's that?" She goes, "She's a TikToker." And I
Only
said,
the biggest TikToker ever.
See, that's why I don't know her.
Is
I
she
don't
bigger
use
than
TikTok.
Iron Sanctuary? No, I don't think so.
Iron Sanctuary is awesome.
I love Iron Sanctuary.
He is amazing. See, Iron Sanctuary, I would have a drink named after him.
It would be whiskey. you know it would.
Yes, it would be. It definitely would be. I don't understand the point of these celebrity endorsements.
I do. It's
money, obviously, but I don't
it's
understand how
money
people
and
fall
it's
for it.
marketability.
Bring
It's
in the
it's a
fans.
recognizable face.
All right,
and
let me
they're
rephr-
trying to reach the younger generation.
Let me rephrase that. I understand why it happens and the success with it. I just don't.
we could go get Justin. He's a business major, so we could explain it to you as well.
Finance major, but yes.
Finance major, my mistake. But yeah, like it is what it is. I get to just make fun of it because I could literally go order the Travis Scott burger and then put 2 pieces.
That's
of
still a
bacon on
thing.
It.
I thought it was only limited edition.
You get a cheeseburger from McDonald's and you have pickles and ketchup on it, and then you throw bacon on there.
That's it.
That's it. They just don't offer the bacon anymore. If you really want a Travis Scott burger, go to Five Guys.
Well, Five Guys is just really good. That's
Never
not an
been there.
advertisement, by the way.
No, it's not. I was there yesterday though. It was delicious.
I've
I'm
never
very
been to
happy.
Five
For
Guys.
The serotonin I needed.
Oh, that's so good. Five Guys. They give you a lot of fries.
That's why I always get a medium fry and split it with someone.
I always get a large and just eat all my stuff.
You also don't eat for several hours during the day.
Well, most people don't eat for several hours during the day.
I felt that.
We're gonna go
It
to a
was actually
breakdown.
like a little Huddy meal at Burger King.
I don't even want to consider that. We're gonna go to a break while I be upset. To the morning buzz here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I accidentally just bopped the microphone with my nose. We have
Nate,
got
if you're listening,
now
Kenny's sorry,
Nate is getting some much needed sleep.
which he deserves.
That is completely true. Today, for this second hour of the morning buzz on October 25th, 2021, we're looking at how scientists are changing the life of a blind woman, why Kellogg's is fighting a lawsuit, and what a Michigan man, not Florida man, did during a police chase. But before we get into all that and more, I'm joined by my co-host Mike Foley. I remembered his name that time, and our newscaster Madi Zuniga. Woo! I
Hi.
thought you were gonna scream at me. And our entertainment host Ashley Del Cueto. She did her segment. It was fantastic. Let's move on to the newscast. Madi, please do it.
In local news, a flash flood warning has been issued for North and Central New Jersey starting Monday night. Moderate to heavy rain are predicted to hit parts of the state. National weather forecasts say it can cause thunderstorms and isolated thunderstorm or two, isolated tornado or two. According to Dean Lovino, National Weather Service meteorologist at Mount Holly, Philadelphia, right now it looks like we'll have a pretty good chance of moderate to heavy rain on Monday into Tuesday morning. That could result in some flooding, which is why flash flood watch is in effect. State news on Sunday in New Jersey reported another 870 cases and 3 confirmed deaths due to COVID. This was the lowest number of reported new cases in nearly 2 weeks. It's the lowest 7-day average since August 6th, when New Jersey was in the early stages of the Delta surge. New Jersey's numbers are improving, though officials are warning that the weather is getting colder and the holiday season is approaching, which means more people are gathering indoors and could cause another bump in the number of positive tests. National news. A crew member says she raised concerns about the safety of a prop gun that killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Maggie Gold, who is a prop maker, in a statement, she had filed a complaint over concerns about Assistant Director Dave Hall's behavior on set. He disregarded safety protocol for weapons on set and often lost consciousness while supervising on set. International news. Colombia's most wanted drug lord was captured by authorities, which is considered the biggest blow in the country's narcotics traffickers in decades. Colombia's president, Ivan Duque Marquez, confirmed that the drug lord's capture in a televised national address on Sunday. He's also known as Otoniel and is the leader of the Clan de Golfo. This capture is compared to the fall of Pablo Escobar, says the president of Colombia. The State Department offered $5 million for his capture, and Colombia offered a reward up to 3 million Colombian pesos for his capture. Today's weather is partly cloudy with a high of 74 and a low of 55. The wind is 3 miles per hour with a humidity of 66. The air quality is excellent with an AQI level of 14.
Thank you, Madi. Once again, that was a fantastic newscast. You never fail to disappoint me.
You're welcome.
And once again, I don't know what AQI means.
I told you literally
No, you
an
didn't.
hour
I
ago.
cut you off because I was still tired. And I told you if you didn't want me falling asleep, you wouldn't tell me what AQI was.
Oh yeah, it stands for Air Quality Index, and there goes the head. I was waiting for you to do that for me. I can't tell if that was fake or if that was real. That was
You'll
pretty good.
never know. You'll never know.
I never will. We're going to move on to our first story for the hour. This one's about science. Mike, please tell us.
Science.
That's right.
Science rules, according to Bill Nye, the science guy.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
We need to add that in the thing now. Please, let's add
Bill.
Kenny,
Huh?
we love the theme song to Bill Nye, the science guy, but you gotta let me read the story.
Bill Nye.
Kenny, I swear to God, I will get up there. I will get up and I will take over your mic.
Bill.
Kenny,
All right, go
I
ahead.
just passed my ADJ test. I can run the board.
Go
After
ahead.
getting a 66, baby. Woo! Scientists used a tiny brain implant to help a blind teacher see letters again. A former science teacher who's been blind for 16 years became able to see letters, discern objects' edges, and play a video game. Whoa. This is all thanks to visual prosthetics that include a camera and a brain implant. The studies furthers it's a long-held dream of scientists to impart a rudimentary form of sight to blind people by sending information directly to the brain's visual cortex. One of the lead researchers said, quote, these results are very exciting because they demonstrate both safety and, if I can't say that word, we have taken a significant step forward, showing the potential of these types of devices to restore functional vision for people who have lost their vision. In the experiment, a neurosurgeon implanted a micro electrode array into the visual cortex of the teacher. The implant was then paired with the video camera mounted in the corner of the pair of glasses. And the visual impairment is one of the most common disabilities in the world, and scientists are employing several strategies to help people who are affected by it. Another recent success, scientists used a CRISPR gene gene editing tool to modify DNA in people to help combat rare genetic eye disease.
Man,
Good wholesome story for the day.
isn't science cool?
A teacher can
Science
see now.
rules.
Science does in fact rule, buddy. It does in fact rule. Because Bill Nye, the science guy, said so.
It's amazing, though, the limits are not breaking the limits of what we're reaching from science. There's things that I see constantly because I'm the one that prepares the scripts for each of the days, and I have to get a science story for each day of the week. And the studies that I see and the developments I see are astounding.
That is true.
It's phenomenal what science can do, except I need to ask or point out, while this is not one of those cases, do you think there is a point where science goes too far?
Are we really going to play this game?
Yes.
Have you seen the classic movie? It's a very classic movie. It's very good. It stars Keanu Reeves. It's called Replicants. Came out a few years ago. It's my
I have
favorite
not
movie
seen
of
it.
all time. I'm kidding, of course. That movie's okay. The movie that I just mentioned is about Keanu Reeves. He lost his family. He tries to bring them back as replicants.
That's not good.
No. But the movie I'm speaking of is Terminator. Terminator follows a woman named Sarah Connor as she is hunted by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Clearly not a robot until it's revealed he is a robot. And it's like, yeah, science went too far. And yeah, I agree. So there is a point where we need to know when not to go.
Yeah, and
I
that's
don't think we don't, because people want to see how far we can take it.
Yep, and I completely
It's like messing
agree.
with a person. You want to see how far you can take it, but at the same time, you should know your limits and you should know what not to do.
When you
Yeah.
said classic movie, I thought you were gonna say Jurassic Park for some reason.
I was gonna say Jurassic
That's
Park.
another good example.
That is another good example because the guy plays God. But yeah, I was of course referring to the classic, very well received, not at all bad movie with Keanu Reeves called Replicants. It's okay.
But the CRISPR is one of those tools that is controversial for many people in that it says it, and this is something that I went over in my freshman year of high school. CRISPR, you can choose the genes for your child.
Really?
Yes, that's kind of the point of it. It's a gene editing tool.
Oh.
And many people are like, well,
So
do I want my child to be beautiful and athletic and smart? Or is it just for using and getting rid of genetic based diseases?
So you're saying we finally created a create your own character machine
Ex-
in real life? That's
Exactly.
what it's saying, Muddy. You agree, right? It's like create your own character.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of a movie called Gattaca with Ethan Hawke. I remember I
Oh, I
watched that
love Ethan
movie
Hawke.
in 8th grade science class. That basically they can choose the genetics of their children.
Really?
Yeah. They use like the thing like the tagline of the little letter things.
Science fiction is becoming science
Science
nonfiction.
Except that was like a whole dystopian world because like if your kid didn't come out the way you wanted it,
Oh, like that one book, sort of.
which book?
There was a book, you had to pick like 3 books in like 8th grade, and then one of them was The Giver. The other one was this book, I think it was called Unwind or something, where in this dystopian future, rich parents can have, if they're like, say your kid wants a better arm, well, there's another kid with a better arm who can't afford certain things. What their parents can do is they can sell that kid to be unwound and have all of their body parts stripped away.
Wow.
And it's really, I forget the actual name. I think it's unwind or unwound. But Ashley, what do you think of this whole thing?
I think it's pretty cool that like the scientists basically helped the teacher see again, like after 16 years of like blindness. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's the wholesome part of the story.
Yeah, that's something that we should focus on, and something that is wholesome for many people is music. Our next story, it's our music story for the day. This is about Guns N' Roses. They are fully back, but Slash, he cannot quit his solo career. Slash just finished the latest leg of his world tour with Guns N' Roses, and they've got multiple new singles out. But by himself, the guitarist has just released a new single, The River is Rising, with his solo band featuring journeyman vocalist Miles Kennedy and The Conspirators. In 2018, Slash explained his reasoning for keeping his solo fires burning, even though he is now back in GNR. He said, quote, I want to keep that going as something that I have outside of what Guns N' Roses is doing. It's a little crazy, but it's way better for me to be bleeping. That part is not part of the quote. Busy running around and doing that than for me to just be sitting around. Slash and his solo crew are going to embark on a 2022 North American tour, which starts on February 8th at Roseland Theater in Portland, Oregon, and wrapping up on March 26th at Hard Rock Live in Orlando, Florida. Tickets go on sale if you are interested October 26th. 2022, that seems...
No, we're not talking about 2022.
All right, got it.
No.
Slash, fun fact, Slash is very good friends, I think. Well, yeah, it has to be very good friends with our general manager, Annabella Poland.
She
so
loves
much.
Slash. I remember she was showing us the new music video for Slash's new song.
Yeah, so much so that her daughter, her godfather, is Slash. I'm not kidding.
What?
Yes,
awesome.
Annabella's daughter's godfather
Angie's
is
godfather is
Slash. Yes, she calls him Uncle Slash.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the coolest
That is
uncle name
awesome.
ever.
Imagine being able to say that.
Who are you gonna go see this weekend, Marty? No, not Marty. Angie, I'm gonna go see my Uncle Slash.
That's crazy.
That's insane. You can ask her about it. Annabella has the craziest stories.
Annabella's I really just want to sit down and do like a full biography on Annabella and just tell all the stories, like a tell-all book, and I feel like it'd be as thick as it.
One of my favorite ones is how Pitbull disappointed her on her birthday.
See, this is why, like, you
He showed up late to her birthday party,
and then I learned them inadvertently, and I'm like, oh man, I really want to like talk to Annabelle about these things, but then she's always busy, so you're like, okay, I'm sorry.
He showed up late to her birthday party.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was telling me about, I don't know who the celebrity was who ruined her. Oh no, she was telling me about her friend's boss who ruined her wedding. Or it was her sister's wedding. It was she was at a wedding, and her friend, she had a really mean boss who didn't respect the employee's time whatsoever. And long story short, the friend had to leave the wedding to go do something.
Wow.
I don't know if it was Annabella's wedding or not. I think it was someone else's. I'm telling the story wrong, and I shouldn't be telling the story in general because it's not my story to tell.
Yes, she's also, I believe this is true, had barbecues with Metallica. I think that is true. I could be wrong about that one, but I know the other ones for a fact.
I started following Annabella on Instagram, and I wanted to see, I wanted to learn a little bit more based on because photos say a lot. And I've seen they're worth the 1,000 many words. People that she's met, and I'm like, wow,
they're all hanging up.
She's pretty awesome.
Too.
Yeah, they are. She's got the coolest office ever. It's just all music memorabilia. She's got signed guitars.
No, she also has Star Wars posters.
Star Wars posters. She's a huge Star Wars fan.
I know. I want to talk Star Wars with her.
I just got into Star Wars.
Star Wars is awesome.
What do you mean by just got into Star Wars? Like, have you never seen it until now?
Yeah, pretty much.
What?
Kenny, hold on. Star Wars is awesome, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's all that matters. Don't listen to the fans.
Okay, because
make your own opinions. They're yours to have.
Like some people are Star Wars people, some people are Star Trek people. I'm an Alien person.
There we go.
I love Alien. That's my sci-fi space series.
I've never seen Alien.
What? I'm more disappointed about that than Kenny hearing I haven't seen Star Wars until now.
Well, so you saw Star Wars. That's the thing.
Okay.
Star Wars is one of the most popular movies of all time. That's pretty shocking.
Yeah, it started the whole blockbuster culture.
It did.
True.
Which, It's great.
I'm still hurt about the alien thing. I'm still like processing.
I'm gonna
this.
watch it. I just don't have time right now.
I have all the movies in my
Friday
dorm,
night.
all on
Friday
Blu-ray.
night. I'm watching spooky movies. Don't worry.
Spooky movies.
Anyway,
Spooky movies.
back to Slash.
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 He's one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
Well, Ashley, I want to hear Ashley's thoughts on this.
Slashly.
Slashly. There you go. Slashly, what do you think of the whole Slash focusing on his single career while also being a part of Guns N' Roses, or the fact that he's friends with Annabella?
I think it's pretty cool that he's gonna be like Slash. Is he like he's focusing on his career like alone or?
He has a backing band.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't really listen to Guns N' Roses. I'm not gonna lie. I listen to more pop music, so I didn't really know about this. But I mean, the fact that Guns N' Roses is back seems pretty cool because I know they are a popular band, but I just don't listen to them.
Well, something that Slash is surely doing, he is going to Overdrive. He is working with 2 different bands, including his solo act. This song is Automatic Overdrive by Slash.
Anytime, anywhere at WMSCradio.com and the iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the Morning Buzz here at 9.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. That was Automatic Overdrive by Slash. Mike, you have a comment.
Yes. Ashley,
Unrelated to Slash.
It's somewhat related to Slash, since we are talking about music. Ashley, I have a question for you. Have you listened to Olivia Rodrigo's album Sour?
She seems like a huge Sour fan.
I feel like she is. I have a gut feeling. It's a guttural feeling. So, Ashley, if you're paying attention, answer the question.
I have listened to the album Sour.
Okay. Well, there's a difference between listening to the album and being a fan.
But yes.
Because I listened to the album and was not a fan.
That's fair. That's fair. What do you feel about the song Brutal? Because that was playing earlier, and me and Kenny were having a discussion about it as Marty was like, why are these guys talking about a pop star at nearly 7 a.m?
I actually like that song. It's pretty good.
What?
It's not my favorite one on the track, but
what?
I do like it.
What?
I like the song, but don't like the song at the same time.
What?
I don't even know how to describe it. It's like Mike said, the guitar is pretty cool.
The guitar's great, and then she ruins it with it.
But I will say this song has my least favorite lyric in any song.
And I can't even parallel park.
And I can't even parallel park.
I can.
Yeah, it's like I get why like it's relatable because it's like something disappear. God, it's brutal out here. It's like describing,
I wish I could
life
just
and stuff,
disappear.
but at the same time, it's like, homie,
Just
take a nap, eat some Ben and Jerry's, you'll be fine.
Well, that's kind of the way I viewed her entire album. I listened to it, and my first reaction was, I think I'm too old for this.
Yeah, I sat there. I was very much like, okay, the only good song is Brutal. And then the more I listened to it, I'm like, no, it's not.
No, I
And
listen.
the intro is good, where it goes, it's like that. And then it's like, no, I want it to be more messy. And then it goes, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. That's good. This year ruins it.
Listen,
By just,
I lose it to Driver's License.
you
I'm
lose it to
not a
driver's
fan
license.
of any of her songs.
I love Driver's License
What?
I hate Driver's License.
and Deja Vu.
No, you know what? That one's fair.
You
I'll give you
can
Deja Vu.
when she's with
I will not. You know what? No,
That's what I
no,
hear.
no, you lost speaking privileges with that.
Understood. Mike, then introduce our next story then.
All right. Sorry, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in about Olivia Rodrigo at almost 9 a.m. So, your breakfast sandwich needs grape jelly. Hear me out. This is what Kenny wrote. This is not what I wrote. I personally don't believe in it so far. There are 3 widely accepted condiments for an egg sandwich: salt, pepper, ketchup, the holy trinity of toppings in our, I'm not even going to say that, in our New Jersey
Omnipresent.
food lexicon that we often,
Salt, pepper, ketchup. Like one word.
salt, pepper, ketchup. Salt, pepper.
Salt, pepper, ketchup.
I meant the omnipresent.
Oh, well, you did it.
Oh yeah, would you look at that? A
I
reporter,
tricked you.
in at NJ.com is suggesting that an odd change: grape jelly. The reporter wrote, "quote The sharp sweetness of the grape spread contrasts the savoriness of the egg, cheese, and ketchup, balancing the sandwich and making it even tastier. It works well with pork roll too."
You skipped the other one.
Because the other one's wrong.
It is wrong.
Marty agrees.
Marty, where are you from?
Pork roll.
I am from Perth Amboy. You know, I'm from Central Jersey, so
Well, so am I, and I say it's Taylor Ham.
yeah. But don't you do that on
okay.
purpose?
Well, I do.
He
well,
he does it on purpose because he knows it annoys me.
Well,
and
no,
everybody
I
else.
do it because my parents are from North Jersey, and when they moved down south, I learned it as Taylor Ham. So I grew up the only
grew up
person
with it.
being
Well,
called
hang on.
Taylor Ham, which is also why I had no friends. That's kidding.
I came up here to MSU,
the
you know,
only
as a
reason.
freshman, and people
Yeah.
are just like, "Let's get Taylor Ham." I'm like, "What is that?"
No, see, I got the best pork roll Taylor Ham story, but first I want to hear what Ashley calls it. Ashley, what do you call it?
I call it Taylor Ham.
Yeah, I figured. I saw that coming.
Wrong. So wrong.
I actually I agree with you, but I want to do the scream.
Do the scream.
Ashley, come on! Ashley! Why? Why? Where's Panos where you can scream at him?
Panos!
Panos! He's got the perfect name for screaming.
That's a really great name for screaming. But I have the best coming to Montclair and then realizing how different North Jerseyans are. So when I came to Montclair initially, I signed up to work for the rec center. So I got to move in a few weeks early, which meant I had to interact with people.
I'm sorry.
And, yeah, I know. It's not my favorite thing, but hey, it is what it is. And one guy, he kept running around. He doesn't work there anymore. I don't think he even goes here anymore, but he's like this guy. He just kept running around. He goes, "What do you call it?" And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "What do you call it?" And I'm like, "I don't understand the conversation. I just walked in here. It's like 9 a.m. My bed's uncomfortable. What do you want to tell you?" He goes, "Is it pork roll or Taylor Ham?" And I said, "It's pork roll." And he goes, "Oh, you're from South Jersey. What a loser." And I was just like, "Hey, at least the Eagles had just won the Super Bowl 2 years prior." I said, "Hey, at least my team actually beat the Patriots."
So did mine twice.
Yeah, I know. Kenny.
But it's back to the grape jelly. Would you try it?
Sure, why not?
No.
I try pretty much anything once.
Yeah. I mean,
Not
I won't eat
grape
sushi
jelly.
ever, but I'll try that.
Grape
Sushi
jelly
is
isn't
fantastic.
great.
I can understand why you wouldn't want to eat it. I get it, but I love it.
It's raw fish. You ever hear the expression "don't eat raw chicken"?
Well, it's raw chicken.
Yeah, it's the same concept for me.
Uh, I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, you don't. Ashley, would you try it?
I've tried sushi, but like I don't really like it.
No.
I don't know. It's just not good.
Not sushi, Ashley. The grape.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, we're just gonna scream Panos
Oh.
every time we're upset with you. Got it?
honestly, I don't really like grape jelly either.
Panos.
I agree. Grape jelly is not the best.
I've never actually had grape jelly.
Strawberry jam is better.
I had my first ever peanut butter jelly probably around a year ago.
Wow.
It's true. I always just eat a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, this last 15 minutes have been brought to
Wait,
you.
hold up. Just a peanut butter sandwich?
It's fantastic. I eat it all the time.
Okay, listen. Peanut butter sandwiches slap.
That's right.
You don't knock them until you try them.
But the part of a PB&J sandwich is
Well,
that
you get it with some good milk at like 2 a.m.
milk.
You make a nice cup of milk. You make some peanut butter sandwiches. You eat that while your roommate is hanging out upstairs with someone, and you just enjoy the night at 2 a.m.
Wow. I don't know about that one.
That sounds very specific.
It's a vibe.
Where did that come from?
Oh, that can't. Oh, that's not a story we're gonna get into because of the FCC, which I love them. Please, FCC, since I love you, don't find me.
FCC, we're doing our duties and jobs here at WMSC. We're going to play
90.3.
the required PSAs and showmos and stuff so the FCC doesn't yell at us. We'll be right back.
Free. Again, this is not an advertisement. I'm literally just saying what he told me. And I was like, okay, cool. And I signed up. And then I was like, oh wow, this is kind of nice. And then I, eventually bought Peacock because I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And it's all right.
Peacock, I get that for free with my cable.
See, I didn't. Yeah. But it's okay. I get to rewatch Psych. So I'm happy.
I love Psych.
That's
I rarely
on
hear anybody
Peacock?
that likes that show.
Huh?
That's on Peacock?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it's owned by NBC because
Yeah.
it's under the USA Network.
Yeah.
The USA Network's owned by NBC.
I gotta get Peacock.
Now you do. Just sign up
So
for a free account. It just comes with ads. It's like Hulu with ads.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
again, not a call to action, literally just stating facts here.
this is true. But Marty, we've mentioned a couple times on this show, and it's you're the resident Halloween expert and a lover among WMSC. What is it about Halloween that you love so much?
Everything's spooky. I just love the idea that you can have a day to get away with being the word I always use, spooky. And I just like the idea of horror, something that scares you. I just love it. And also the creativity of wearing your own costume. I just love it.
I haven't worn a costume since I was maybe 15.
I wear a costume every year,
You
but I
said
don't
you
go
never
out.
dressed up as Halloween.
Huh?
So you never dressed up for Halloween.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I said I haven't dressed up since I was about 15.
That's good change.
Actually,
I don't know what I'm gonna dress up as.
Go to Spirit Halloween. Look for the vibes.
I'm broke.
You could be anything from Avatar.
Yeah, there's like all the Avatar. I went to Spirit Halloween yesterday. There's like all these like Avatar costumes, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be awesome. But
You just reminded me of something. My amazing Avatar show.
yeah,
I'm gonna play it a little bit now.
yeah. Well, we're not gonna spoil it for anybody, but it's really cool.
It's
I am a fan of it.
it's one of the proudest things I've ever made.
Ashley, make sure you're listening. It's a very good one.
I love when during the morning, one of the morning buzz meetings, Kenny was so excited.
Kenny was
just
literally
to
like
play
a
it.
kid in a candy store. That's how excited he was. He's like, "Oh my god, I did this so really good."
I
Literally, no one has a
was-
bad word to say about it.
I know. I have not heard a single bad thing. When I showed it to Annabella, and Annabella, obviously, she's ruthless with fixing things, and she only had one comment, and it was just that one word. The entire thing was just a little bit too quiet. She didn't even say anything else. I was like, I succeeded.
You succeeded. You're out.
I did. I was so happy.
You were able to make almost a perfect show for Annabella.
Yeah, she. It was my biggest
That's
dream.
probably going to be your biggest flex, not the fact that you have 3 shows, or the fact that you're the Morning Buzz producer, or the fact that you've gotten all these great guests. It's that you got only one critique from Annabella.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I gave her my resume, and she literally wrote almost all over it in pink pen.
Oh no.
Mike,
I appreciate her for doing that.
Oh,
Don't
of
get me wrong.
course,
If
yeah.
she's listening, thank you very much, Annabella. I hope Uncle Slash can look at my resume next. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. But yeah,
Spooky.
for Halloween, just be a sheet ghost.
a sheet ghost.
Oh, with sunglasses.
See, there you go. See, literally, go to Kohl's, buy a sheet, cut little eye holes with scissors. Cause you have scissors, right? You know,
We have scissors in the
who's
office.
there? Exactly.
And get some
Just
sunglasses.
Get some sunglasses. Boom.
Is that actually a valid costume?
Yes.
Actually, it's the trend is returning for the spooky season, and
Yeah.
people have been doing it where they
'Cause
go on
it's like-
skateboards and just
Yeah, it's like the
skate down
tears
the road.
falling down from the party.
This is a valid costume, like for real?
Yes,
I was gonna do it, and then I went to Spirit Halloween. I saw a far
but
better
if you think
costume.
about it, it's always
do
been a
it.
valid costume.
do it,
Oh yeah.
do it.
It's
It could probably
cheap.
cost you like $15 at most if you get like a really good sheet. But I say just get a bad sheet,
Yeah, that makes it better.
And
because then you can throw it out,
sunglasses.
or you can always reuse it if you can't think of anything. That's the other thing. If you keep the sheet, you can always reuse it.
Cheap tablecloth, or
Cheap
as an actual sheet. Who knows? Depends on what kind of sheet.
The
it
reason
is.
why I use a sheet is because it's got to fit, and then you just dress all black underneath.
works.
And I know you have all black.
I do.
Just
I,
don't wear your mint shoes like you did Friday.
I love my mint shoes.
I
I
noticed that
like
you
your mint
pointed
shoes
it out.
too, but
I wore all black yesterday. I had to for work.
there
That's
you
my
go.
uniform.
See, so just do it again for the WMSC party,
Yeah,
because there is a costume contest apparently.
Is
I
there?
will win that. I am very confident.
Marty, I don't know. You haven't seen my costume yet.
What's your costume?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say mine. I'm Freddy Krueger for like the
I
millionth
know.
year.
We mentioned it earlier because we're talking about the Freddy Krueger house being up for sale, or the Nightmare on Elm Street house.
That's right. But we're not talking about that anymore. Mike, please tell us our next story.
Okay. Kellogg is in a jam over Pop Tarts lawsuit. Reports say. A report says a woman filed a lawsuit against Kellogg, saying that they market their strawberry Pop Tarts is misleading. New York resident Elizabeth Russett is suing the breakfast food giant, claiming the fruit filling and the Kellogg's whole grain frosted Pop Tart toaster pastries is mostly other fruits. TMZ obtained the lawsuit that the nutrition label is in question actually shows pastries are heavier on pears and apples than strawberries. Russett insists it's not enough to provide berry nutritional benefits, let alone a strawberry taste. The berries.
The berries.
I ironically just had this Pop-Tart earlier today for breakfast.
I've never had a Pop-Tart.
Dude.
Ever.
Dude. Do you just like not have a childhood?
No, not really.
Like this is just
felt
as sad
that.
as like Sabrina telling me like, oh yeah, I usually just ate like rice and chicken every night for dinner.
So did I.
What?
Panos!
Is
Why?
is
What-
Panos just everybody who's bad?
Yeah, I'm just gonna use him from now on because who doesn't love a good shout out on the morning buzz? You know, his mom
Literally a
is-
shout out.
you know, Panos' mom or dad could be listening, and you know, and or Panos could be listening himself, and he could just and they could just tune in and yeah. But Marty, have you had a Pop-Tart?
None of that was
I have.
comprehensible.
And nothing of what I said is comprehensible, and I really hope Annabella wasn't listening because she's just gonna be like, Mike, what was that? And I'm like, I don't know, my brain no worky.
I'm
It was
slowly
just
starting to
Panos
like
listening, and then
Pop-Tarts.
yeah, and then
Kenny,
Huh?
I want to hear what Marty had to say.
I see.
I'm
So-
slowly starting not to like Pop-Tarts.
I had my first Hot Pocket last week.
There we go. Kenny
It
the
was
man.
fantastic.
1 second, I want to hear what Ashley's. Ashley, have you ever had a Pop-Tart?
Yeah, I love Pop-Tarts.
Hey, a Pop-Tart enjoyer right here. All right, so why are you slowly falling out of love with Pop-Tarts?
Well, one, they come out with the weirdest flavors.
That is true.
and the strawberry one, I'm getting grossed out by it.
That's
I'm
fair.
getting grossed out by the brown sugar one, which
That-
used to be my favorite.
Yeah,
And then all the other flavors just they don't do it for me.
that's fair. Kenny,
Kenny,
what Hot Pocket did you have?
ham and cheese.
That's the worst one.
I loved it.
So
Most people
here-
actually do hate that one.
So here's the thing.
I put it in Discord, and
I-
people
I-
said that was the second best.
No,
After
I'll tell you
pepperoni.
my personal top 3 go-to Pop-Tarts. Number A, the Philly cheesesteak Pop-Tart. Number B,
Wait, back up. Pop Tart tastes like a cheesesteak.
there's a Philly cheesesteak Pop-Tart.
How does-
Kenny,
what?
I'm about to open.
I
you
thought it
to
was more of a
whole
dessert.
New world. No one's gonna do that. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I mean, it is Disney. But seriously, like that's what I eat when I get
If we
home.
sing it, we'll get flagged.
That's why. But that's what I eat when I get home. I don't have time to cook meals, so I just like throw Pop-Tarts or like microwavable gluten-free meals in, and so Philly cheesesteak is number A. Number B is chicken and broccoli with cheddar.
These are Pop Tarts.
No, these are Hot Pockets.
These are Hot Pockets.
You said Pop Tarts before.
I meant Hot Pockets.
Okay, this makes so much more sense.
And
The entire time I was thinking,
is
yes.
Meatball marinara. Those are the top 3.
I've
Ham
only
and
had
cheese
two.
is like mid.
Cheesesteak. I love me a cheesesteak.
You gotta go to the right supermarket, man. Go to ShopRite.
Go to ShopRite.
That's not a call to action, by the way. That's just me telling Kenny to go to ShopRite.
Yes.
Go
You're
to your
welcome,
local
FCC.
grocery store.
I love you, FCC. Don't ever forget
Said
that.
no one ever.
I say it out of genuine meaning and not out of fear in any way, shape, or form.
That's right. We're
but
not
yeah.
being held hostage. We're not. I should point that out.
Today's the day.
Single sweat just drips down.
It's the Jordan Peele sweating meme where he's just like,
We're gonna move on to our next story before I lose it.
"You've
This
already
story,
lost it. You lost it a while ago.
I did lose it a while ago. Our federal prosecutors say a Georgia man used a pandemic relief loan to buy a $57,000 Pokemon card. Court records show that the man is charged with relying on an application for a pandemic economic relief loan about the number of people his business employed and the company's gross revenue. He faces 1 count of wire fraud. The court filing said he received $85,000 in August of last year and then used the money to buy a Pokemon card worth nearly $58,000. Rare Pokemon cards can sell for thousands of dollars. Clearly, collectors have been bidding up prices for trading cards, video games, and other mementos.
Well, what Pokemon card was it?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I actually looked and I couldn't find it.
What
I will do
'cause
my
That
research.
is what concerns me is because if it was the Charizard one, oh, we gotta, you know, that's understandable. You ask me.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, now you're playing a dangerous game, Marty. Now you're playing a dangerous game. Well, let's ask Ashley first because she doesn't. Ashley, do you play Pokemon?
He can spend up to 20 years in prison? Sorry,
20 years.
20 years.
Huh.
Continue.
Totally worth it. If it was the right Pokemon
if it was the
card.
Charizard.
Yeah, if it's Charizard. Ashley.
I wasn't really a big fan, but I liked Shaman. Do you know who that is? Like a hedgehog. It's like
Yeah,
not
That's
at
not
all.
what I'm awing about.
What?
They didn't disclose which one it is.
Pause! Come on!
They didn't disclose. I'm pretty upset.
I'm upset too. It's okay, Ashley. You don't. I think I know who you're talking about.
Shaman's decent.
Oh, is that the little deer one?
No,
Marty, do you know?
it's in
No.
Gen 4. It's Diamond Pearl with the little green thing.
Wow, very specific.
Listen, I got the generation right.
You did. You know what? I have a friend at work who's learning the entire Pokédex.
Why?
I don't know, something to do.
You could do so many other
He
things.
started in the pandemic with like the first 50, and then he slowly has been learning it very easily. So I can give him a random number. So I give him like 276.
I have a friend who knows the flag of every country.
That's more impressive.
It is.
Except Pokemon is more impressive. So
Fair enough. So your favorite Pokemon, Ashley, is Shaman. Marty?
You know, it's weird. I actually used to be the biggest Pokemon nerd. I used to play the card game a lot when I was a kid, but I completely forgot everything up until now. So my favorite one automatically is just Snorlax, just because he's
That's a quality favorite
That's a
Pokemon.
quality
That
one.
is
All right,
a
Kenny, you
good
go.
pick. Turtwig?
Turtwig.
He was my first ever starter.
Turtwig's the man. He was my first ever starter too.
Really? So is that your favorite too?
No.
Oh.
Chimchar, man.
Charman?
Chimchar.
Chimchar is a good one.
Chimchar's a good one. If I had to pick the actual favorite, though, it'd be Charizard.
Charizard. Why
Yeah.
Charizard?
I don't know.
Charizard's cool. But he's
in the anime, he's very much a character I vibe with, despite the fact that he's like never down to do anything.
I vibe with Snorlax.
Who doesn't vibe with Snorlax? I
I
think we all
love
have to at
Snorlax.
some point in our lives. Pretty sure if we ask Annabella, she'd be like, "What's the one that sleeps all the time?" Because that's me.
I got into what's it called? I got into Pixelmon somewhat recently. It was about a year ago, and I got a Snorlax and I made that thing a tank.
Made a tank.
Yeah, I had a milk tank as well.
Dude, I don't have much else to say on Pokemon, so I say we move on to our.
No, we are not going to move on to our next story.
We're
We're
not?
going to move on to the greatest Shomo ever made.
Oh yes,
That's right. I'm so excited. Here it is. I'm so happy.
shout out to you.
Laughter, music, pain, memories. Long ago, the four elements lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when flashbulb memories began. Only the host, master of all four elements, could face the memories, but when the world needed him most, he vanished. 100 memories passed, and my brother and I discovered the new host, a DJ named Kenny Horn. And although his hosting skills are great, he has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone on Thursdays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 p.m. But I believe Kenny can save the station.
Welcome back to WMSC. That was my Avatar Shomo. If you couldn't tell,
baby.
if you couldn't tell, I am a giant Avatar nerd. When I was making that,
Shout out to our assistant digital marketing director, Yaz, for being the perfect guitarist.
oh, she was great. I just walked over and said, "Hey, you want to do a Shomo with me?" She goes, "Sure." And I gave her the script. She's like, "Eh." I was like, "Your Katara."
Your guitar, just talk like guitar.
She did. I didn't even tell her to say specifically, like, talk like that. She just did.
She just did on instinct.
great.
That's a good actress right there.
She killed it. She was
I'm gonna have to
listening.
use her for my Shomo now.
She was listening to the intro along, like, in her AirPods as she was reading it. She killed it.
That's great.
Thank God for Yaz.
Yeah.
That I couldn't have done that with anybody else.
Oh yeah.
If I was gonna do it, I was like, oh wait, I am boy.
You are a boy.
Will not work.
Yeah, it might work.
I mean, it would work. I could.
Have you listened to the Legend of Korra one?
That's fair, but that's
Yeah.
also Legend of Korra, which is a great show, but that's a completely different thing, and it's not nearly as recognizable as Avatar.
It's okay.
That's true.
That's right. That's right. That's true. Anyway, I'm very happy because I made that. It was really good. Mike, please tell us our next story.
Give me 2 seconds of I'm gonna send you something real quick. But we have our classic Florida man
That's
arrested
right.
after throwing a G at a woman. A Florida man appearing for assignment ended up behind bars again on Thursday after violating the letter of the law. Authorities in Indian River County arrested 26-year-old Jordan Thomas for allegedly battering a woman at a courthouse. But what he used was the bizarre part. An arrest report claims that Thomas took quote a signage letter from the blackboard in courtroom 3. 26-year-old is being held without bond in county jail. He faces charges of battery and violating terms of his patrial release in the prior case.
What goes through your head?
Why G?
I was just thinking the same thing. Why the
G of
letter
all the
G?
letters?
Well, I feel like it has a good handle for throwing.
What I'm thinking is it's like those slidable ones that you see outside of like.
Yeah, like a church.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm also thinking like, it's probably like one of those little tiny letter G's.
No, I feel like it was a full-on G if he got arrested, right?
I mean, why G?
I don't know. My guess.
But is something ending in ing? I get that. Like you're the quickest thing possible. Why not grab the like?
Do what would hurt? An A.
No, you know what would hurt more?
What?
A Y.
Ooh, a Y is a good one. And that's got the kind of ninja star aspect.
I think
No,
a Z
the one
would
that has
hurt
the ninja
more.
star aspect is Z.
X.
Oh yeah.
X would be the worst.
What do you think would hurt more, Marty?
Z.
Z.
Mhm.
Ashley, what about you?
I would say like an X
An
because there's
X,
like
okay.
4 like things that could like hurt you.
I would say this should be a great digital marketing poll for Twitter, but at the same time, are we even allowed?
Shout out, yes.
Shout out, yes. Are we even allowed to post that?
No, I doubt it.
Kenny,
Why?
if you're gonna keep making fun of my mumbling,
No, that was me not knowing the answer.
oh, all right,
Don't
All right,
don't
all
get
right,
down
all
on
right.
yourself, Mike. It's okay.
all right, Kenny.
It's
All right,
okay.
Kenny,
It's all
okay.
right.
Go. Continue what you're saying.
Why the letter G?
Thank you.
My thought is it has a good handle for throwing. It's a curved base.
I mean, yeah, it's like you pick it up on the one side.
Exactly. And it just goes. And because
But
it's circular, it could be good aiming.
Where would you hold the G? Would you hold the G at the bottom or the top? Because at the top, it's easier to throw. See,
I'd
these are
hold
the,
it
these are
in
the
the-
real questions we need to ask.
I'd hold it in the indent.
So you'd hold it in the indent.
Yeah.
But you're losing all your hitting power when you think about it. Because
What do you
then
mean?
then you don't get to use like the little like nubbin.
Not the indent itself. I mean the indent similar to the roof of the indent.
You're losing the nubbin though. The nubbin's the best part.
The nubbin.
The little nubbin. When you do a G, you go and then you dash it over. But sometimes you have a little nubbin on the end. This one apparently probably had a nubbin.
Yeah, it did. Just because you're throwing doesn't mean you're throwing in a straight line.
Well,
or
who
it's
said
not
he was
gonna
throwing
work.
it? He said, "Oh, he did say
He,
throw it."
he it literally said he's throwing it.
Did he throw the N and the G, the N and the I after too?
Well, we're just assuming that it could have been go, for all we know.
Wait, was
But
it a
then when you
capital
start
or
with the O?
lowercase?
What was that?
Well, was
Well,
it a
O's-
capital or lowercase that he?
That's the other thing.
Ooh,
Because if it was a lowercase G,
that is a
That's a whole different
good
process
that's a
of
whole
holding
other
it.
process. It just says a capital G in the article.
That. Ooh, you bring up a very good point, Marty. It's probably capital. Most of those signed things are capitals.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Ashley, what letter would you throw? Did you say? What you said X,
X.
right?
Yeah.
X. Why couldn't you have thrown? This doesn't sound bad. Thrown something better, right?
Yeah.
Like if the guy wanted to do some damage, couldn't he throw the sign itself? How far do you think he threw it?
So, do we know what his previous charge was?
I may be able to find it. His previous charge. Mike, you say things while I try to find it.
Okay. I say things. Things are good. Things
Gee,
make
what a poor choice of a letter to throw. I don't know. I was trying to think of a good pun.
Did you really just come up with a pun right now?
I
Did you really
try
just
so
go,
hard to
gee,
think of
what a
good
poor
puns."
choice of a letter. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh my God. If Kaya were here, I'd have her do her.
He was
like,
being arraigned
fake
for a
ass laugh.
misdemeanor charge of battery.
So,
So his is his second time of
see-
battery.
do we know what he looks like?
Yes, there's a picture of him in the article.
Does he look like, is he like super strong? Is he super skinny? Like,
Oh no, this guy is strong. I can
oh
tell.
yeah, you know what?
That's
I just
a-
clicked on it and I literally like the picture popped up. I'm like, no, yeah, that guy.
That's a
definitely threw
big
the-
man.
That guy could have thrown the whole sign.
He could have, yeah. That's a big man.
Yeah.
I'm scared of that guy. I wouldn't want to mess with
To
him.
quote one of my favorite memes, I don't fear any man, but that thing, it scares me. And it's just a picture of the letter G.
Mike is the king of no, not memes, but he's the king of gifts.
I'm the king of gifts.
And he used to say he's the what's the word?
The what? You got it.
Unofficial.
You got it.
Self-proclaimed
Self-proclaimed.
king of gifts. And then when I officially proclaimed it,
You proclaimed it on Flashball Memories.
I did. That was before I really knew you. I knew you as the gift guy in Discord.
Yeah. And now you know me as Mike.
Mike,
Who likes gifts.
Mike who likes gifts.
Yes.
But what we also like is weird news. Our last story for the day. It's not about Florida man. It's about a Michigan man who did something pretty dumb. A northern Michigan man is facing charges after he got lost while trying to escape police and then called 911. He faces 1 count of breaking and entering without permission and 1 count of resisting and obstructing police. Bond was set at $1,000. What was going through this guy's head?
Mm-hmm.
He got lost. Why didn't you just wait it out?
I don't know.
Marty, say something. What do you think?
I just think it's hilarious. They just getting lost in the woods. Like, you know what? I may be on the run from the police, but just call 911 just in case. Like I love the idea that he did that.
Maybe he saw the trailer for that new movie Antlers. Because then I'm kind of terrified to go in the woods now.
What's Antlers?
Antlers, it's a horror movie on the Wendigo. If you know that Native American myth.
I do not.
The Wendigo, really?
The Wendigo. I'll pull up real quick an explanation. So Kenny, say words.
That reminds me of Until Dawn.
Words.
Say more words. So here
More
it is.
words.
The description of the Wendigo, according to Wikipedia, Wendigo is a mythological creature of evil spirit which originates from folklore of the First Nation based in and around the East Coast or Canada, the Great Plains region of the United States. I'm going to do I have the ability to share screen?
You can in about 3
2, 1.
seconds now.
So you just disappointed me after I saw your DM. So this is what the Wendigo kind of looks like. Antlers.
Oh, that's shocking and scary.
Yeah. So they're doing a horror movie based on that. It's called Antlers. I don't know why he's there.
Joe Biden is not the Wendigo, apparently.
Just yeah, that's
Just in case you were curious.
generally speaking, that's what it looks like. I know there's a copy of it in The Witcher, which is a great game. I'm not saying you should go play it, but I am gonna go play it later. But yeah, so it's like that's why I would, in fact, in that situation, I would be like, all right, you know what?
Maybe he saw a Wendigo.
Not gonna see if the Wendigo is real. Just gonna call myself in. That's easier.
It could have been the Michigan Devil.
Kenny.
Yes.
Kenny.
Yes.
We're the only ones. We have New Jersey Devil.
I know. I just didn't know what else to say.
Yeah.
The Chupacabra.
That's
another cryptid.
No.
No.
Could be a skinwalker.
What?
You don't know what Skinwalker
Slender
is?
Man.
No.
Oh, not Slender
No.
Man.
Skinwalkers are 10 times scarier.
No, Slender Man isn't that scary.
Not
So-
Slender Man.
This is another Navajo myth, or if you'd believe it to be. In Navajo culture, a skinwalker is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into and possess and disguise themselves as an animal. Then what they do is they sneak up on you and they disguise themselves as you.
That's not good.
Well, here's the thing. They take over the body, but they don't know how to control the body. So
Maybe you heard La Llorona.
it's like, have you ever seen the Doctor Who episode where they're all in astronaut suits?
I've
And-
never seen Doctor Who.
Okay, so there's a Doctor Who episode that kind of takes this concept and runs with it. And I'll make it quick. But long story short, there's a virus going around in between each of the spacesuits, and you only say the last word that you ever say. So if it was who turned out the light, You only can say who turned out the light over and over and over again. Same thing goes for the Skinwalker.
Wow.
Anyway, that's my daily dose of cryptids. Happy,
Okay.
happy Halloween, folks.
Now I'm scared.
You heard the cries of La Llorona.
Yeah, you could hear like "help me," and then it's just you hear that over and over again, but you see a guy walking around like this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Now I'm scared.
Yeah.
We're gonna end the
see,
show
this,
now.
this is why I would call myself in.
Thank you for listening to the Morning Buzz here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
Woo!
Yes, Mike's patented woo.
Woo!
Tomorrow,
Woo.
Kyle Pepitone and Jake Getz will be bringing you a fantastic show. Please tune in. They have got a lot to talk about. They will talk to you then.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Mom,